Measuring things while cooking can be a real drag, at least for me. Today I'm going to show you how I make a pizza dough without measuring a damn thing. Start off with some active dry yeast. I just like to make sure that the bottom of the bowl is covered. I'm going to be making a lot of pizza dough today, so I have a big bowl. If you're going to be making just one dough of pizza, use a small bowl and then apply this same method. Just a bunch of warm water. I usually try to get the bowl like a third of the way full. And just give that a good stir so the yeast dissolves into the warm water. I like to also add just a touch of flour just so our yeast can start to eat. And then I also add just a little bit of honey. Now, a lot of people would say avoid this, but I like to get that yeast kick-started with a bit of sugar. And let those all to get to know each other for like 10 minutes. So a lot of you guys have asked about this shirt previously. This is the Fibonacci tee, and this is actually my hand. It's available over at trendtaco.com if you want one. To me, this whole concept just meant doing it upright, taking pride in what you do, but not taking yourself too seriously. This now smells very yeasty and delicious. It's time to add our flour. The rule of thumb with pizza dough is this. A New York style pizza dough is a little bit drier of a dough, whereas a Neapolitan style with the fluffy crust is a wetter dough. The wetter doughs are harder to work with. Drier doughs are the ones that you can see getting tossed around a little bit more. They'll end up giving you that crunchier crust. Me personally, I go Goldilocks style. I like it somewhere in the middle. Bread flour. We're just going to add a couple of cups of that until you can't really see the water anymore. I also like to add a little bit of 00 flour because it gives it that nice chew to it. Like a 70-30 split of bread flour or all-purpose flour is fine too. And the 00 pizza flour. Add like a handful of salt here. And a nice drizzle of olive oil. You don't have to do this, but to me it helps the dough to brown a little bit more. If you have a stand mixer, use that, but I do not. Here we got a big ball of dough that's come together pretty well. There's also a lot of dryness here at the bottom of the bowl. That's okay. I'm just going to take a little bit more of our warm water and add that. If it's too dry, add some water. If it's too wet, add some more flour. The more you do this, the better you're going to get at it. You might surprise yourself and start having some fun with this. Now, once it's all together, plop it out, give it a few smacks. Ow! Ow! Woo! I usually take the opportunity here to try to clean off my cutting board too of any like little dough or flour or whatever. I roll it around, collect it all. Fold, press, fold, press. We're just beating the hell out of this thing, getting the gluten developed. Have fun with it, gang. The consistency of this I'm looking for is that it's sticky, but it doesn't stick to your hands. I got clean hands, but it's picking some flour up off my cutting board. I'm gonna stick it back in this bowl. I just put this warm, damp cloth over the top and then just let this rise until it doubles. The other thing I add to the dough sometimes when I want it to feel more like Pizza Hut-y / Domino's-y, it's a little bit of cornmeal. I remove like a half cup of the 00 flour and add a half cup of this. And that'll give you that like internal crunch. All right, so it's about 2 hours later and our dough has doubled enough to where it's basically touching the top of the towel, and that is good enough for me. It is time to split this up, but first, let's get our mises in place. We're gonna need to store this dough overnight in a cold location. So what I'm doing is using this hotel pan. You can use whatever the hell sort of thing you want. I'm making a lot of them, so I need the extra space, and I just put some olive oil in that. Take a paper towel, loosely kind of bring this around to the edges, make sure that I'm getting all this all lubed up. Now we're gonna bust out our dough. You can just rip at this, but I like to use a bench scraper. And I'm gonna split this into probably 8 individual pizza doughs. I'll leave one of these big to make a focaccia with. Now for the rest of these, I keep it really simple. Fold in, fold in, fold in, fold in. Just do that a few times. Just try to make this surface super tense. It's got some pretty good surface tension on it. It's a nice looking ball of dough. Just a little bit of olive oil on the surface from the bottom of your hotel pan or whatever the hell you're using. And it's find its place to rise. Now we just do that same process a bunch more time and boom, we got our 6 pizza doughs ready to go. The sizes aren't perfect, but neither am I and neither is life. Put the lid on them, put them in the fridge between 12 and 48 hours. Depending on how long you want to proof them, you're gonna have some awesome pizza dough to work with. Good luck, gang. I hope you make some awesome pizzas. Cheers.